Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of RYBEAU Radio. Today we are joined with the fabulous Adam.
Hi everyone.
How are you today?
Oh my God, I am recovering from what I think was literally the best weekend I've ever had. I've just been at the Eurovision. Woo woo!
Stunning. Oh yeah, I think I've seen
It's
you there actually. I've not seen you there,
yeah,
but seen that you was there. Yeah, how was
yeah, it
that?
was absolutely amazing. Such a surreal experience to be at the Eurovision. I was so buzzing that Liverpool was hosting it.
I
But
know.
yeah, I'm on recovery mode, hence why I look like this. But I'm glad that we're both in our chill clothes.
Yeah. Episode one, I was like, I'm gonna put the chains on, I'm gonna wear the leather jacket, and now a makeup on, and now I'm just like, hey, this is me. This is me, everyone.
Like, I feel like this was very me on our season two. Everyone else was like waking up, doing the full glam, the full beat, and I was very like, yeah, I'm gonna throw a hoodie on. Let's go 10 minutes before.
Remember the branding rule?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be applying this year.
Oh, really?
Well, I think it is, but like I'm sure we were like I've seen some of the contestants posting like their looks, what they're wearing and where
Yeah,
it's
and
from.
said the brands and stuff, but we couldn't do that.
Like I could never go on and film, say this is from ASOS. It's really cool. I wanted to do it, but we weren't allowed to do it.
Gosh, imagine if I did mine. My outfits are ranging. Hello, everyone. This is from Reduced Section of Zara. This
Dude,
is from Charity Shop.
this is
This is from Lee Market. This is from Baltic Market, everyone. Let's take good. Right, so
God.
into the challenges and stuff, then we'll speak about that. So, obviously, the first section was the industry, right? And we had Sephora and we had Arietta Rouget as the guest judge, would you say? Was it guest judge? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Like, how do you feel that you didn't have that on your series and that you got Cirque du Soleil episode two?
Oh my God. I feel like when there probably will be so many comparisons that I do just naturally because I
Yeah.
have been on the show and by no means do I want to offend anyone, but and I do want to say that because I want to come on this podcast and give you the opinion in terms of like, as you do,
Yeah.
like, as a viewer of the show and as someone who's been on the show, I know, and as much as you want to tell me you've not done it, I know we've all been in that situation where we're sat with our boyfriends, we're having a ball, we're watching the show, and we go, I think that's great, and I think that's shit. So all had that moment. We can all sit there and say they're all great, which they absolutely are. Everyone,
Yeah, everyone's
art is
opinion. Yeah,
so subjective that like
it
you
is.
can't. I feel like yeah, it's obviously the show is about judging it and then getting to
Yeah.
the next makeup star. However, it's so subjective. So something that doesn't make sense to me might make sense to someone else. Excited that they got to do Sephora. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's very down my street. It's something I would have really loved to do and be part of. I think it was a great industry challenge, and it's some of the challenges I personally think need to be
Yeah.
more in the show because
Mm.
sometimes we do, it's all great. Like, you know how much I hate SFX and stuff.
I
It's all
can't.
great. Yeah, I know we're the complete opposite, Ryan. But when it comes to the show, I personally do think it did need more beauty related camp, like I don't know,
Feel
more beauty.
like when you left, we had Doctor Who, and that was obviously my thing. And then after that, they had Fashion Week. That Rolling Stone will literally be the most traumatic thing we've done in my life. I think we're disgusting what I did. That was actually, I was that allowed, I'll tell you, that was awful. I feel like they had a lot of beauty stuff, but it was just after you left. But I don't know why they kicked you off so soon, because literally all the challenges you would have literally won after like Doctor Who. I think you would have been the bottom for Doctor Who because you literally have you ever had a prosthetic before? I don't think you have,
Well,
have you?
so this is the thing, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually, before coming on to the show, trained with an artist called Sarah, the makeup tutor, and she like specializes in prosthetics. Now, my theory to going on to the show, I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna give them a bit of a journey. So I'm gonna give them like I'm gonna start off slow, and they're gonna expect just beauty. And then all of a sudden it's going to come into this like prosthetics gear, but I didn't get there. And you know what? That was my journey on the show, and I am just grateful for it.
Yeah.
And I believe that bigger things are coming, bigger things are happening. But that being
Yeah, they already
said,
are happening. Bigger things are already happening for you. So like literally won't even worry about glow up. Like
100%, like I was so grateful for the experience. But yeah, my time was cut so short that like it is hard to have an opinion on so many things. But that being said, I can relate so much. And I know we're going to talk about the challenge, the industry
Yeah.
challenge and the creative brief in a minute. But I can relate to Howard on this season
No,
so
right. Let's be honest. I spoke to every single person about Glow Up, and we've all said you and Howard are literally like we've literally casted the same people this year, haven't they? Really, well, not the same people, but like I
there's
feel
so
like
many
Howard.
similarities.
Well, like they both do. You both do the same type of makeup, don't you? Like essentially. So very
I
celebrity glam, incredible.
that, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I guess you could say that like it is very there's a lot of similarities. We both want to get into. I think he mentioned doing like high fashion models, like big,
Yeah,
well-renowned models around the world.
yeah.
And likewise, I want to do like amazing celebrities, the
Mm.
Kardashian.
I'd be that for you, to be honest. Will come one day, 100%.
Yeah, well,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, that challenge was amazing. Can we talk about Patrick Ta? Like honestly, like when I look at some of the artists that I really look up to or
yeah, it's
have inspiration from, he is definitely one.
literally when Patrick Tar come out, when I saw the guest judges and I saw Patrick Tar come out and like Harush and stuff like that, I literally wanted to bell you straight away. And I was like we had good guest judges, but like in comparison to this year, the budget's just so much bigger. Like, what even is that? What is that about at all? How did they get Patrick Tar? How? Someone
Like,
tell me how that was a thing.
I do expect that the show gets better every year, so they do have to up it once. But how are you going to go from again, it sounds like I'm so ungrateful, but I'm really not. I was only on it for 2 episodes, guys. You need to understand that. So I am very like, I can't have this opinion. How are you going to go from giving us Gymshark to Sephora UK? Like, shit. Who won that? Lisa won it.
Lisa, Lisa won everything.
Come on, there's that. She
I
was
know.
great. I fucking love Lisa.
I was like a Lisa fan whilst we were filming. It was a bit embarrassing actually. I was like, oh, I know. Um,
Honestly,
but
like
no.
it was an experience, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
just so surreal.
But like, I feel like watching it is so different to filming it as well. Like, I watch this now, I'm like, oh, that shit, that shit, that shit, that's really good, that's really good, that's really good. Don't like that, do like that. But then you have to think about the context of like being there, filming it,
Pressure,
and the briefs
anxiety.
never what they say on TV either. I don't think. I feel like the briefs, like they say a brief to you, then like it comes out. I remember on episode 5 when I went home, the brief was a 3D effect. So I did prosthetic string and cogs. And there's a few of it anyways. He didn't do a 3D effect, but then on TV, it wasn't a 3D makeup, it was something else. So you never know why people have done certain things. Maybe they was told to do.
Then people need to remember it is a TV
TV
show.
show. It's a TV show.
Production. You're going
Yeah.
to see production. You're going to see.
Yeah.
Actually, we say you're going to see, but reality is
Probably not.
we see news don't.
You won't see
Like
it, yeah. That's the magic of
we
TV, isn't it? That's the magic of TV to not see that. But then at the same time, it's also frustrating as someone who's been on the show to
you don't
like,
see like the 14-hour days. You don't see the anxiety. You don't see, by the way, I found it. So I was at the Eurovision and I bumped into someone who was also part of the Sephora show. I won't mention her just in case she doesn't want to be mentioned. But likewise with our series as well. Remember when we were waiting around so long for Gymshark to actually shoot the shoot?
oh yeah, we're knackered. Me, we started at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. So like we were sat around for a long time, and I know Ryan, you always go on about how your foundation looked really orange, but that
It
also
was
could have just that also could have
oxided.
been the fact that it could have oxidized in the amount of time they shot it in because apparently when it came to Sephora's challenge, the models were sitting around for about 4 hours before they got shot.
This is what I mean, right? When I was painting that girl and I was putting that Mac Studio Fix pan stick makeup that was in my kit, but everyone else had all this beautiful Mac face and body and this soft glam, and I was there giving pan stick drag makeup. Okay, right? I swear that was color matched perfectly. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even know what I was doing. I feel like I went there and I was too focused on being on TV than I was actually doing the makeup. I was more like, oh my gosh, I'm on TV, and not like I've actually got a job to do here.
But yeah, so definitely I think what people see on the television and what we do behind the scenes, there's a lot of pressure. So if people do watch it and they do have an opinion like
Yeah.
we do, so we're sitting there, that's quite shit. babe, you don't know the pressure when we're facing behind the scenes. It's like we're sitting around for so many hours, anxious Annie's thinking, are we
Yeah.
going to make it through? Are we not going to make it through? Did they like it? Did they not like it? In your head, I don't know if you were doing it.
You know what's
I did.
funny? Do you know what's funny, right? Me and Lisa were sat together at that Gymshark, and I was like to Lisa, did you use that RMCA powder? Now, I got told when I was on set once that if you use RMCA, it like flashes back. So I said, like, oh, don't use that powder, it flashes back. She was like, oh my gosh, I used it, I'm going to go home. And I was like, yes, you are, you used the flashback powder. And I was in the red chair, she won. It was so funny. But yeah, it's
I'm not gonna
wild.
lie, I loved that red chair for a while.
I was in there. I think I like lived there at one point. Do you know what? When I got put in that blue chair for Doctor Who, it felt weird. I wanted to go back in the red ones. But pro tip: if anyone's going on Glow Up next year, the red chairs are a good place to be because you're right next to the judges. And I tell you now, the reason I got through so many challenges, the episode 2 body art, Val Garland was like, them eyes are too much. She's putting too many of them eyes on the body. I took all the eyes off and I paid over the eyes and I did not, and I knew what she wanted from me. I knew. So there's no chance. I was gutted that I went in that red chair. I was, well, obviously, like, it'd be nice to win a few more, but that red chair was ideal, honestly. You just hear all the judges' comments and you're like, yep, tick, tick, tick.
I could have went in the red chair for a change.
So, who was your standouts then for this challenge? Who did you like the most?
So looking at it, when I looked at it, the more I actually really liked Wes's. I
No, so
really
that
liked
was very you. Like,
yeah, Wes's makeup was it was beauty.
yeah.
Um it was very feline. Let me see, I wrote here. Yeah, it was I loved the cat eye. It was done so well. It was so gorgeous. I loved how feline it was. I just loved it overall.
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for Wes.
Have you? I feel like Wes is proper glam
He's
artist,
he's
like
glam
very
artist.
salon.
But then you say that he's glam artist, but then did you see his creative? I actually was quite impressed with that. But obviously we'll touch upon that later.
Yeah,
But
because I have a few opinions, but I do like. Well, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But I did like it, but I didn't love it. But we'll go into that later. But yeah, no, I loved the glam look that Wes did.
yeah, Howard, of course, he listens to the model, he listens to the client. You can tell that he's an industry professional. You can see that he's worked within the industry before. I loved how he did the green eyeshadow. It went with the hair really
I
well
love
because
that. Yeah,
yeah, he was really, really good. And it was yeah, I did wish that he was because who won that challenge? It was
but
Saffron.
so there was a few winners, but then Saf like got the extra shoots. So in my eyes, Saf wins again. Basically, Saf won like 2 challenges so far. So she won the last one and she's won this one. So we all know
Right.
the whole thing, don't we? Now, let's be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Right, I'm gonna be really honest now, right?
Love this. Go
I
on.
absolutely love Saffron. Absolutely love her approach, the way she works.
Yep.
She is an artist, right? And with the show being the next makeup, like what is it? Britain's next makeup star.
Yeah.
That said, she can hit every like, box. She can do beauty, she can do SFX, she could do it all. But I think in this challenge, particularly for the beauty, I do think that maybe Howard or
Yep.
Wes
I think
could have took.
I think Howard deserved to win that. One, to redeem himself from last week, because
Yeah.
obviously he face off. 2, because I feel like it's his gig. You know what I mean? Like it's Howard's gig. Like, and Patrick's hard, Howard, like it really looked up to him, and it was like I really like Howard's win for Howard.
And as well, I don't feel like, and this just might be my opinion. It is my opinion. That's why I'm on this. But I feel like Glow Up. I don't know. People are not gonna like this, but I feel like
As long as it's not nasty, it's fine.
like if you're just a beauty artist, it's probably not for you. And I'm saying that because I am a beauty artist. I feel like you need to be that all-rounder.
Same for me though. Same for me. Like I dabbled in beauty, but I'm not a good beauty artist. I don't do that every day. It's not my bread and butter. I don't go to work every day and do beauty. So I feel like for me going on Glow Up, I knew that I was going to struggle in the initial challenges and I was going to be in that red chair a lot. Like I just knew that was going to be a vibe. I was the person who was like painting themselves as an elf, during my bedroom. Do you know what I mean? So there's a difference between, like, it was with a culture shock for me. almost, because I went into like my bedroom doing makeup and having the odd jobs doing here and there, or being at university to go into a competition with people who work in industry. Like you've just done like Amir Khan's wife's makeup for a TV show. Do you know what I mean? Like that for me, I was not on that level. So I went into this show and I was like, oh my gosh. So I feel like
I not
I get
thought of
what you're
it from
saying.
that perspective.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but I also think as well, like a lot of people, I went on it to learn, to be fair, and like to make
Well, like I
content.
said, it's a great platform to go and gain knowledge and understand that, you know, if you do want to be Britain's next makeup star, you should be able to hit every sort of narrative and every sort of brief and, you
Yeah.
know, and be an all-rounder
Be a
makeup
winner,
artist.
but they don't cast for winners though. If you casted a group of winners, then then it would be hard.
Again,
Like
we're going to
we
say the
got casted to go home second and fifth or sixth. Let's be honest, we did.
it's a
Like
TV show.
it's a TV show. Like let's be real. Like
So,
and it's fine. But
so, so what else have I got here? Wait. Um, who
Saf
did
acne I
we?
like as well. She left the acne Saf. Speak while we're on Saf now. I love the Saf skin. What she does for the skin.
And the lip.
The lip
The
was my
lip was
favorite. Yeah, the lip was like the focal point, and it took away from everything else, like in the best way possible. It was
Yeah,
nice.
I loved it. I loved the lip. I thought it was gorgeous. I think she's a really good artist and she's definitely one of my top three. And in fact, that being said, we're actually doing a makeover soon. I'm turning saffron glam.
That is going to be iconic, though. That is going to be iconic.
Like, who did you least like? Not least like, but whose like look didn't for you do it? Be honest.
I didn't like Kieran's, but like I feel like Kieran's approach is something that like. So I understand where Kieran's coming from. If you're not in that, because Kieran's a salon makeup artist, so Kieran works in a hairdresser.
It's,
I mean, Kieran like works in a salon, does hair, stuff like that. So I feel like going into that industry challenge, you don't like. I feel like I look at billboards, me, and you see that soft skin, and you see that like Maybelline moisturizer advert with the glowy skin, and there's nothing on the eyelid.
vintage.
I know, but like I feel like his like Kieran's approach to that, it's that I understand the mindset of how Kieran's approached it, because he's probably thought, oh right, yeah, but it's soft skin, it's gonna look really good on camera, and then they've took a picture of it and it's just not shown through.
Yeah, again, it's the pressures, isn't it? When you're in there, you think
We were
one thing's going to
thinking,
be one
a red
way,
lip
and
would have, yeah, a red lip and an eyeliner would have just like it would have changed the whole thing.
the look standalone is amazing. When you put the label of it was supposed to be vintage, it didn't for me hit that note, and that's why I think, like you said, adding that red lip or adding a bit of an eyeliner, um,
So I
it
think
would
it
have
is as
been.
well. Can I be honest? I feel like if you don't know period makeup, you don't know. Like, I feel like when you live like that 90s era challenge I did, right? So from going to college and studying makeup, like I say study makeup, we didn't really learn to do makeup. We just learned the context of makeup, how it was made, stuff like that, how to be health and safety, stuff like that. You learn like history of makeup. But like we didn't really do 90s. And my only reference of 90s is my mum and my dad and my stepmom and my mates who are older than me. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if someone says to you, oh, vintage, and you're thinking of like your nana, well, your nana doesn't wear makeup. So you would probably do something like that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's just what you know as well. It's all about like being intelligent enough. I'm not saying he's not intelligent, but being clever enough to know the history of makeup, I think.
Yeah, I could tell that you could interpret it anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like who else did I think? Was there anyone else that we thought like could have done a little bit better? Oh no. I loved On Maze.
I was gonna say On May. I loved On May's. It's so good. It was so graphic and like sick.
I loved that. I loved the cut on the eye. I thought it was really clean. Again, I thought another one who could have been a potential
Yeah.
winner.
She brought herself into the look as well. Like I feel like it's something that she would wear.
What did you think of Axel's?
See, I saw myself in Axel though, because I feel like Axel is like I see myself in Axel on that show. So when I see that Axel didn't do as well as the others, I can't really comment on it. Like actually something probably I would do.
To be honest with you, I can as well because of course it's Scottish. Absolutely love it. But that being said as well, obviously I'm not biased because Omni and Axel are Scottish, but at the same time, I can in a weird way see myself because if I was in an SFX challenge, I would feel the same.
Yeah.
And then goes back to exactly me saying what I said, that Glow Up is definitely looking for the next Britain's next makeup star.
Yeah.
So that you do to be able to hit every sort of brief. And when you do get cast, let's be honest, when you're a production team, you know, you do have your job as well to see what are people's strong points, what are people's downfalls. That's what I kept getting asked. What are you so scared to do? What are you going to be?
I wouldn't tell them, you know. I didn't tell them. How hilarious is this? I had the phone call. I don't know if we can talk about the audition process, but this is like after. Got casted, whatever. What are your weaknesses? I'm not telling you that. Why are you not telling me? Because I know as soon as I'm in that face off, you're going to give me a graphic eyeliner that I can't do. And then I also said, what else do you not like? I said, I hated body art when I was in college. What did we get episode 2? Body art. I asked for a model with short hair so we could do a bald cap. They give me a model with dreadlocks, like what was really high, that I couldn't scrape back because it's textured hair. And it would take me ages to work with that hair type because obviously.
What did you even do with that then?
You are?
What did you even do with that then?
So I changed my look. So I cut. So obviously you can obviously like, I know how to adapt to things. So there is ways to do the hair so you can put it in a bald cap. There is ways you can do that hair type in a bald cap, but it would have took me a long time to do. And you also need hair products to work on that hair type. So I just cut the bald cap up and then stuck it over the eyes and then put cotton wool underneath, I think.
Oh my God, genius.
So they're not like, I was not letting them send me home. So then you went home instead. Sorry.
I was fucking happy to bow out at that point. I don't know if you could tell when you watch that show, all you see is me going.
Yeah, you was like very pretty, like, oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's okay. I've got a career.
Yeah.
but that being said, like I was so grateful for the show, and I was definitely like, you know, really grateful for my experience, and I believe everyone.
I loved it. I loved filming. I loved everything about filming. I loved being there. Obviously, it was a bit traumatic at some point, but I feel like after the show is when I struggled.
Television in itself, whether you're doing a show like Glow Up or a show like Love Island or anything, it's an intense environment. Yeah, it's a very intense environment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like after the show is the hardest part because I experienced like a proper burnout me after the show. I didn't want to post any makeup. I didn't want to do makeup. I just wanted to like have time to myself.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just coming out of that phase, and it's took a whole year.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I'm only starting to post again now because I literally I went through like a really weird metamorphosis of my life. Like, what was that about?
What did you think of RYBEAU's look? So this is the thing.
Like the lip. I liked it. I liked it. Design. I liked it.
I liked it, but do you know what it reminded me of? I actually did a Cupid's bow bet on my lion. And I did my Cupid's bow like gold. I remember Val actually saying on that, but they didn't show it. They said that your lips look thirsty.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't obviously broadcasted. I don't have a problem with that. Like whatever, they did look thirsty. They look thirsty right now. They're always thirsty. But that being said, yeah, I remember that was a critique. So when I was watching this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to tell her they don't like the little Cupid's bow bit, but I didn't mind it. And as well, I don't understand because they're they are screaming at the top of their lungs, be bold.
Oh, they do it all the time.
She be bold, and then she gets told it's too bold. Like,
can't win. You can't win with them sometimes. It's just how it's like. I remember my series as well, our series. Like, I just didn't know where the middle line was sometimes. I was like, I don't know what you want from me. But you don't get to speak to the judges though. Like on set, you do your makeup. The head makeup artist says they like it or they don't like it. You make your changes and you go into the lighting where it's being shot. You look how the makeup looks under the lighting. You make changes appropriate to the lighting. You do test shoots. You do test applications. And then it's not real makeup because it's that to me just doing a test application. That show is a test application. The one who does the best test application wins. That's for me what that show is. Do you know what I mean? So when we had like,
I guess if we did get to do like a test shoot, it would defeat the purpose of the competition.
Yeah,
because then we would all be good.
But like not even just like shooting it and then seeing how it looks. I remember for like H&M, they did like a little test shoot and then we could see and make a change.
What is this? Like, what is this challenge? I don't get it. Like, yeah, I would have been great. Like, that's such a cool thing we're shooting for H&M. But like in comparison to Sephora.
By the way,
what's H&M our beauty campaign? Yeah.
H&M, Gymshark, Rolling Stone, I feel like is a beauty campaign as well. There was like every single one was a beauty campaign. I can't be bothered. Everyone I was on,
Do you think
Rolling Stone was like a magazine cover, so it was more like econ work, I suppose, or like I don't know actually. Don't know what you'd class it as, just magazine.
honestly, I think I was out too soon because I really would have done some sick shit.
Yeah. So Saf wins the challenge, gets to do some more looks. What do you think of the looks that Saf did after? Did you enjoy those? The graphic line of the green and stuff like that. Did you enjoy that?
Insane. Again, like I said, she's a great artist, and I think that she knows exactly what to do, and she can hit sort of every brief, which
Yeah.
is what Got wants, and is what the next makeup. What is it? The Britain's next makeup star.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So that leads us nicely into the creative brief then. So first up, we'll start with Saf. What did you think of Saf's look? So it is this green moment here.
In Spain. Like, loved it. I loved it. It was the first ding dong.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No way. Forgot about that.
Absolutely loved it. She deserved the first ding dong. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I love the way she works. That's one thing.
A
I love
perspective, when she's like forcing perspective like an artist. The thing is, I will say, I did prefer it before the drips. That's the only thing I'd say. That's preference.
yeah, oh my god, I loved how it was it could almost be two looks.
Yeah.
But then I also love how her creativity allows her to go that far and beyond with it, that she can think, how would it look if I added this or added that? But then as an artist, I also think how she shows in her industry challenges, she knows when to stop.
Yeah.
So it's like you can go too far, or you can, and she's showing versatility, and I think that's great about her. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's like a masterpiece, isn't it? This is something that I really enjoy looking at. Like,
It's when she got on the ladder for me.
Yeah, I know. It's like, but like, really,
she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing, and that's what I love as well. Because let's be honest, she knows her getting on that ladder, showing the judges that she can and has this artistic point of view to the look. It's going to get her brownie points. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
She's playing the game like she should be.
But that's exactly what you're there for, to show the kind of artist you are. And how you would lead a look, and Saffron does that, I think, the best.
Makes me feel thick. Makes me feel really thick. I'm like, why did I do this to grow up? Okay, so next up, this is one of my favorite looks of the challenge, and this is from Sarah. Now, representing Manchester, so obviously, like, I'm gonna be buzzing about this, but that Manchester B is perfect. Like, and she also talks about her other heritage as well. In the look, so I just love how it's a blend of the two.
Okay, yeah, no, it was Manchester, Nigeria. I loved it. Absolutely marvelous. It was fucking insane. I loved how textured the bee looked as well. It looked really realistic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's because it was really simple, but then it's just that in the middle that brings your attention to it, and then you can really focus on the details of the bee.
Sometimes that's all you need.
You are.
Sometimes that's all you need. Like,
yeah,
simple.
But she's brought it onto the neck and into the hair. I hate it when it's like a really big look and there's nothing in the waterline. They've got the natural hair out. They don't do the neck. It's like, where's the details? But this is detailed to me, and I like it. She's really thought about everything in the look, and that's why it's my favorite one of the episode, or one of them.
I think for me, I loved Sarah's look because, again, I can almost resonate with it as well, in terms of, like, I feel like it wasn't like, it didn't have to be a crazy big prosthetic, it didn't have to be a big crazy look, but if that was done in a magazine, or if that was done in like a campaign, it would work. It would work. And I'm glad that the judges didn't say, oh, it needs to be more bigger or bolder, because I'm bored of everything needs to be a big, bold, dramatic look to be a winning look.
Be a winning look, yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, so we'll move on to On May now. So is this Glasgow? Is this your hometown?
Yes! I love her. I love her, love her.
I love On May. I feel like On May's, like, personality-wise, one of the funniest there. She's really enjoyable to watch. Now, what do you think? You are?
Relatable.
Yeah, she is. That's why I like watching it. She just feels like really natural. So what did you think of this look?
So on May's look, I get it. I completely love it. I think I'm not just being biased because I'm Scottish, but I understand the story behind it. I understand the stained glass, Brandy McIntosh. I get it. I love it. What I will say is it could have been obviously a little bit more finessed and it could have been a little bit more cleaner and it could have been more
Yeah.
stained glass. But that being said, I love it. I think she's got so much potential and I think that she can I just want to see on May go wild because I feel like she can because the first episode look was fucking
Yeah.
insane as
Oh, the first one was insane. This is I feels like a come down for me this look because last week it was so sick, and I felt this week it's just not as good as last week. Then again, no, there are peaks and valleys in this competition that is nice to see. I just wish, okay, first of all, something in the waterline, a white or just something there. I wish there was
yeah.
something on the neck, or like even just black or brown, just something to like border it off. And I just wish there was more highlights, like a white water gel liner or something, just to give highlights as if it's glass.
To make
That,
it
and then it's like a 10 for me. That's all I wanted from it. But like overall, I like the look. I like the concept as well. I love a stained glass window. I love going into churches and cathedrals and look at a stained glass window. So that really resonated with me.
yeah.
I just wish there was a little bit more. But then again, though, like it's peaks and valleys. Not everything has to be, like you said, a massive big prosthetic look with like 20 ball caps, 3 ornaments,
I think
a Christmas
just with
tree on
that
the head.
yeah, just with that look, a little bit more finesse. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Axel. Now, this should have been a ding dong for me. I don't know how it escaped a ding dong. I think Axel, the shading, it's theatrical, it's TV, it's art, it's a story, it's technically well done, it's a full look, it's a character,
Another Scottish MUA.
and Scottish, and it's cultural. And this for
My
me
God,
is,
I'm crying. I'm not well, guys. I think I'm coming on with the Rona again.
oh, not that. Don't say that to me. No, overall, I feel this is one of the top looks of the week.
I
100%.
loved it. Absolutely loved it. I don't understand again how it didn't get a ding dong. Um, he redeemed himself fully in that red chair. I do think, and it's funny because I'm actually crying. That's so weird. I do think Axel has a lot of emotion in his work, and oh my God, I'm actually crying. What the hell? With Axel's look, it was absolutely well done. I loved, loved, loved the fact that he mentioned the Scottish poet.
Yeah.
Um, Robert Burns. I was obsessed with that. His shading, his blending. Um, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I
Yeah.
think Axel as an artist is absolutely amazing. I think maybe one thing watching the show, obviously I completely get it because I've been on the show, but I hope that he doesn't let his emotions get the best of him because it can be quite tough when you are in that situation, in that environment. It's a very heavy environment, isn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like he'll settle into the competition. Like I was the opposite. So everyone else when they first started, I felt I was nervous. I didn't care. I was like, yes, I'm on TV. This is stunning. And I feel like I started to relax into the competition in a very different way, where I've become less excited about it, if that makes sense, and more about the makeup, not about the TV. I feel like a lot of other people go into the competition really nervous and settle into it as in the same way, the same end result, but settle into it in a different way. I feel like Axel eventually, if obviously, if hopefully if they stay as long as they should stay, I feel like they will settle into it and not be as emotionally driven in terms of like crying in the creative brief and stuff. I feel like they'll be fine. Just like give them time to settle in the competition because it is only episode 2 and it is.
Emotions on that show are, if you didn't have emotions on that show, I think you'd be alien.
But like Morgan
Because
sent home on episode 1 for not showing enough emotion in the look, basically.
do you know what? I don't know if Morgan should have went.
No, she shouldn't have gone. I personally don't feel like Morgan shouldn't have gone that episode.
I
If I'm
think
gonna be
that
honest, like I wanted Morgan to stay.
yeah,
Obviously,
thought
the Bridgerton
it's
wasn't
really
like, but you are.
I thought that look was really good.
I loved it. I was obsessed with it. But the whole look was about how she lacked emotion until you got to know her. That was the whole point of the look. And that you'd see emotion once you get to know her. So I understood it, but the judges didn't understand it. But how can you understand it? It was quite simple to understand. I don't know.
Bald cap, there it was technical. It had shading. It just didn't have fucking prosthetics.
Sorry. I started a new joke. It's literally, I don't know. I don't know. So next up we have Kieran. So Kieran's look really resonated with me because Kieran's a northerner. We have a lot of coal mines and cotton mills where I'm from. Not really salt mines, but I feel like the look itself is something I would do for this brief, but with coal instead. Maybe like my episode 1 look, but a bit like reimagined.
Yeah.
But like I love the poppy yellow against the monotone skin, the texture, the crystals, the splatters. The whole body is painted. I wish there was something in the waterline. I wish there was some mascara on as well. But other than that, it's like a 10 for me. Like I loved it.
Yeah, I loved Kieran's look. I think Kieran's a great artist. I think Kieran's up there. I
Yeah.
think it's a dark horse situation. Um, yeah, my intuition says he's gonna go far in this competition. I feel like the texture that was created
Yeah.
in the white and
Mhm.
the darker color
Mhm.
was really gorgeous. I love the placement of the crystals.
Yeah.
It felt really it
Superheroes.
felt it felt like a really big look, but also remembering the beauty of the look because he used like the contours of the model's face. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Really
Yeah.
good artist, and I think he's going to really far in this competition. Easy.
I do as well. Yeah, easily done. Right. I feel like that speaks for itself, really. We don't need to go much detail about Kieran's look because obviously we love it. Okay, so
Yeah.
next up we have Wes from Western Supermare, which I find hilarious to say. I love saying where he's from. I just really enjoy saying it. And we have this green witch look. So for me, I'm just gonna just say it. Like, I don't hate it. I don't. It's just giving Halloween. Like, it's just giving Halloween for me, and that's why I don't like it. But then again, there's still. It's more theatrical. It's very theatrical. It's not
Yeah.
really done. I just feel like I don't look at it and really enjoy it. But that's my opinion. That's not saying it's like a rubbish look. I just don't. As someone who likes to look at something that's more not as theatrical, maybe. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like because it's a latex piece as well, I don't know what it is. But like props to Wes making his own prosthetics though, because that's not easy to do. And the prosthetics that Wes made are really well done. I feel like they might have used latex and cotton potentially or foam. But
Wow.
the brow bone for me looks like Nike ticks. It's not giving a brow bone. Like because obviously I sculpt now and stuff. Like, and I've had to look at the human anatomy. Like it's not a brow bone. It just all look could have been scarier. Like they could have really honed in the scariness of it. But again, it's not my look, it's his look. So yeah, I'm like Torn. I like it. I think it's well done. I just don't like it in terms of like aesthetically from my personal taste. That makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I can kind of understand your point of view, but Ryan, I like it.
Yeah, but you're allowed to like it. But it's not a bad look. It's not badly done. It's
I
not a
like
bad
it.
look.
I think Wes's witch was witching. That's what I've actually wrote down. Uh, I think the prosthetics, especially looking at it from a prosthetic artist point of view, like your point of view, I completely understand what you're saying. But because the prosthetics are done in a way where, yeah, okay, they were a bit textured and they weren't placed on so greatly, or whatever the judges said, I think that's what made it more witchy. Um,
Yeah,
and
because that
and
Chelsea. Yeah.
I feel like I see it on a theatre show.
You what?
That's
Sorry.
what I feel like I'd see that on a theatre show.
Yeah, it's giving very West End, and I like that. You know what? The nose is well done. I like the chin. It's the brow. Like the brow
Yeah,
really stresses me
right
out.
here, right?
But like I don't mind a heavy brow, but it needs to be placed lower to give like an overhang, and that would have just made it look more dramatic. They've
I mean,
shaded it well.
I know nothing about that world of makeup. However, I think him stepping out of his comfort zone and saying, you know what, I'm gonna make my own prosthetics, do it, da da da. That's what
I'm being
global.
very critical now because that's just me in
Yeah,
terms of prosthetics. And
yeah.
I'm not Neil Gorton, I'm not Danny Marie, do you know what I mean? I'm not Ollie, but I just have an opinion from
But you have
studying it.
knowledge of
Yeah,
prosthetics.
I'm not like the best in the world, but like I just from me have an opinion because obviously we all have an opinion. Not saying I could do a better job, but I just personally look at that and think it's a good look, it's strong, it's very theatrical. I just wish things were placed better. And the wig,
Yeah.
I don't like the wig. It looks like, natural hat you see on like Despicable Me, and it's not the natural, it looks like that. And it's just, but like other than that, I genuinely think it's a strong look. It's just for me, there's a few
Oh
things.
my God, Ryan, I'm so unwell. Oh my God.
Why are this unwell? It's the witch.
Shut up, you.
So next up we have Thai shirt. So I can't remember which shirt she's from, but I think it's down south somewhere. I didn't really pay attention to where people were from, to be fair, other than like the Manchester girls and Kieran, because you know, Northerner. But yeah, what we're thinking of this?
I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fine. Why?
Um. Oh my God, Ryan, I don't know what to say. So Taisha's look, I feel like I think she mentioned something to do with beauty. Of course, don't quote me on that. But for me, it didn't feel
Beautiful.
as beautiful.
Yeah.
I think she has got great potential. I seen what she did in week one, the episode one. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she played with color really well in that episode. I did like it. Um,
Yeah.
but for this week, it's just not for me.
Okay, so that's valid. There's a few things that I agree with you on, and some things I do like.
That bit from the brow, like giving the model a hooded eye, I don't think anyone wants a hooded eye. It's just not for me. Do you know what I mean? But then as well, like I can easily sit here and say that, but when I'm in the workspace and I'm in the actual co-op studios and I'm doing that look, I know how much pressure she might have had or how many things that could have possibly went like, I don't know. Like there's
What
always that.
specifically do you not like though? Do you not like the flowers in the head? Is it the lip?
The idea of a flower is amazing, but
It reminds me of Lisa's look than she did for episode 4 a little bit. Not exactly, but the flowers on the head.
the idea of the flower is amazing. However, I think it's just not translated like that.
Okay, so I like the lip. I like the contrast of purple and yellow. I love purple and yellow together. I think it looks really good. I like this little flower detail because it brings focus in. She's done these lines coming outwards that bring your eyes into this center. So she played with color really well. She knows how to use color. These flower things on the head, they're just.
It
I
just
don't.
feels like an afterthought. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's not. They're been contoured really well. Like she's played with color really well and form and shape really well.
What do you feel like,
It just looks
right?
like I feel like it needs to be lifted. Like she needs to place it where it's lifted up and like it just
The
looks less heavy on the face.
I
I
do
hate.
think she's oh, I love her. I love her. I
I like
think
her
she's
vibe.
very glad.
I like her
Yeah,
vibe,
she's
how she dresses and stuff. It's very like the it girl, isn't it? Like
that girl. Yeah, she's that girl. But I love what she's doing. I can't wait to see more. I'm actually going to watch episode 3 today, and I hope
same,
she kills
same.
it. I hope she kills it.
But yeah, so
That's the thing with glow up, though, right? You're gonna have moments where you have done something great and then you've not done something great. I
mm,
mean, I really don't I look at Glow Up more so as a viewer than a contestant because I was on it for 2 episodes. I don't want to take away from my experience at all. It was a great experience, but I do look at Glow Up like more of a viewer and a makeup artist than someone who was on the show. I get the anxieties, I get how hard it is to participate in a TV show. It is a TV show, it's hard, it's not an easy thing to do. However, I am looking at it as a makeup perspective too. Do you know what I mean? And I remember watching season 1, 2, 3, having an absolute ball. Even this season, watching it, you're just sitting there with your partner, and you're like, "I like this. I don't like this."
you
You probably
wifed
do it.
off.
What?
You wifed off, and you're not telling me. Ah, yeah. Are we both wifed off? No, that's funny. Ooh,
I'll tell you later.
we'll have some other gossip later about it. Okay, so next up we have Rue. I didn't resonate with this look as much as I thought I would. The mood board looked fun. I like the idea of using flocking. So flocking, we're using prosthetics. When we're making prosthetics, we put flocking in it to give like an undertone. So if you're doing like a nose with broken capillaries, it's nice to put red flocking in it to make it look like broken capillaries in a silicone. So it's a
All
really
right.
clever idea of using flocking in an artistic way. I think that's really intelligent. I feel like if they would have put the flocking on, it would have transformed this. And I feel like the lines on the mood board, if they placed that on, that would have looked really intelligent. I like things detailed. So I like the ears, I wish there was painted, even if it's a block color, the neck, even if it's just a black or just a red or just something to tie it in. The waterline needs to be addressed. Yeah. I feel
As
like
well, I think she's a very great artist, right? Take her out of this equation and this actual look. She's a really, really great artist.
very intelligent.
How long did we get again? 2.5 hours?
if you're not, were they in the red chair? No.
No.
So yeah, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's that 2.5 hour look.
No, there wasn't the red chair. There wasn't the red chair, so it was 2 hours and 15.
No, it
Because
wasn't. It was
Kieran
Axel.
and Kieran, yeah, that's a lie. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, so it's a 2.5 hour look. Yeah, it's not, is it?
Not really 2.5 hours. I feel like what is really amazing about it though is the color payoff is amazing and the color
And
blocking is really good.
blood shots.
Uh, she's really good. She's got a lot of symmetry. She's really clean finish. She's got a finesse. That's why it's took her a little bit longer. With Rue as well, I feel like her emotions. Um, I feel like it's such a higher emotion environment, but I'm
Yeah.
scared because you do see her sometimes have that little bit of a panic. And I think when you're in that environment, you're only going to do well if you are a little bit more calm and composed and don't let your
Okay.
emotions of
It's
you. Do
hard
you know?
because like yeah, like when I did glow up, if you don't have an idea for a brief, you don't resonate with a brief, it's hard to do it. And I feel like
Yeah.
a few
By the
briefs,
way, I absolutely can I just say, I know I've just said that and it might have come across really weird, but I do love the tube station idea because it's something I always
yeah.
when I'm in London, I look at the tube station, I look at the print.
So I feel like sometimes like you have an idea and you just don't know how to execute it. Like my episode 5 look, like my episode 4 look actually. Was it 4? Yeah, I did the horn. I'm doing a recreation of that soon. But I thought the horn was like a resin horn or something really cool. It ended up being this disgusting latex finger that someone's casted of them fingers and I stuck it on someone's head. It looked like a dildo on someone's head. So like sometimes things just don't work out. They don't. Sometimes things just go wrong. And I feel like even with like I feel like with this look, they just didn't get to finish it, did they?
The thing with Rue is that they really excite me. They make me want to watch the show and they make me excited to see what they're going to come up with next because I feel like their imagination is there, their creativity is there. It's just being able to like make sure that it's done on time, isn't it? But
Yeah.
then again, they could have been having, I don't know, a little bit of tea, a
This is
bit
the
of
thing with glow up in it. Like some people in real life, we have bad days. We have bad days. Like I had a bad day and glow up. Like the whole episode 5 was just like a bad week, 2, 3 days for me. And that's just normal. But like episode maybe 1, 2, and 3, I had better days. Well, obviously episode 1 we didn't, but do you know what I'm saying? So last but not least, we have Howard. Now, go on, you go first because I feel like you and Howard can relate on a lot of different levels. So I'll let you go first this one.
You know what? I really I like it. I like it. I like it. I think it shows his culture. I think it shows where he comes from really well. It's really stand out to everyone else because everyone else is from the UK.
I agree.
When it's about the hometown, out of all of the looks, no matter how big and how bold they were, one that screams hometown to me is unfortunately the one that ended up in the bottom two, which was Howard's look. That
Yeah.
screams hometown. It screams like, oh my God, this is a culture. I want to know where this culture's from. You know, it screams
Mm,
hometown for me.
yeah.
That said, obviously the finesse
Yeah.
could have been there, especially I know Dominic said like him being a beauty artist, knowing to use a smaller brush and stuff. But I think again I can relate to him as well, where I think I can agree that like I feel like him using a smaller, finer brush could have been a little bit more finesse and the look would have come together a little bit more. But I do think it was a decent look and I could still compare it to some of the looks on that week, which, were on the same
Yeah.
level.
So I love this look. The white bled into the black, made grey. It was just a bit roughly done, but maybe that's the culture. Maybe it meant to look like it was meant to be a warrior board of this scare. That to me it resonates, and to me not resonates with my personal story, but resonates in the fact that like it made sense with what Howard was trying to do. I feel like not every look has to be this detailed line. Sometimes in cultures it's a bit more hand drawn and a bit more. Do you know what I mean? That's Howard's story. I think the eye I didn't really like at all. I wish there was black in the waterline again, mascara. I didn't like the glossy lid. I think it made it look a bit less wooden. I wish it was more wooden. Maybe like the thing like the cardboard or the wood. And I wish the nose was painted black, the nostrils. I feel like they missed a little bit there. But other than that, like I enjoyed the look. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't. The actual concept and design was amazing. Like I enjoyed this. To be fair.
I don't think with the red face-off chair.
Hmm.
I don't
So
think so.
speaking of, we're in the face-off, and it is Rue and Howard. That's a colour match, did they? And then do an eye, smoky eye.
Yeah, they had to do like a big bold smoke.
So,
Um,
yeah,
I think Howard's for me personally was better.
yep, I agree. I
I
think
think
I think Rue should have stayed in the competition because I feel like Howard would have ended up struggling because it's prosthetics next week, and I feel like I don't see a lot of prosthetics from them. Rue maybe more. I don't know. Maybe would be able to be more successful in that area. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like Rue represents glow up more, and I feel like that is why maybe they went to the creative brief rather than sticking to.
but I don't think that's fair.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that's
it's
fair. I don't think it's
I,
fair, but I think that's the truth of the matter.
where in the rule book does it say if they can't decide they go back to the creative brief? Because if that's the case, why don't you look at the industry challenge too?
Well, that's it.
Like, why don't we look at the industry challenge? Because let's be honest, you could be really good at doing bold, big looks, but are you going to be successful and succeed in the industry challenge also? Because when you're out of glow up and when you're not in a TV environment, you are going to be working on set, you are going to be going to industry challenges, whether or not it's within your niche. It's up to you then
Yeah.
to leave the show and decide your niche. Like I have, like I've come out and Howard's come out and he's going to do amazing things within
Howard already
beauty.
did amazing things though, so I feel like we don't have to worry about Howard at all. Do you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no,
Is it Cannes Film Festival now? With L'Oreal. I don't know if it's with L'Oreal or not, but I know Val's there with L'Oreal.
yeah.
So just that in itself.
But again, like I said to you before as well, I am really excited to see what Root creates. They have such an imagination and creativity that when you see like the prosthetics are coming up and the other challenges, of
Excited to
course,
see what Rue does for that, rather than see
yeah,
Howard struggle. Do you know what I'm
but
saying? Like,
100% Howard's eye for me was more on
even
brief.
yeah,
And I just
Fuller
think
as well.
it must have been really gutting to know later on that it then had to go back to creative briefs. And if it does, I think personally, Glow Up should take on board. If it does go back to creative briefs, can we also look at the industry challenge of that week as well? Because that makes a really
But then Howard would
bad.
have won. But then Howard would have won because Rue didn't do well in the challenge. So it's just hard. It's hard. And I feel like you have to come down to the TV aspect as well, that Rue represents more of the Glow Up brand as a whole in terms of creative briefs, which is what they focus on more. Where I feel like Howard,
So, guys,
yeah, like Howard is the industry artist who's going to be really. I'm not saying Rue won't be successful because they definitely will be successful, but I feel like Howard already is that, and I feel like Howard's just now just up to their profile more. So I
it
would,
is sad. It's really sad for me because this is the episode I went out on. And it is really sad for me to see as well that this is sort of a continuous thing where someone who just does beauty comes in and they leave really soon. I would have really loved to see Howard actually try because we don't actually know whether Howard would have been good within a prosthetic. Like, who knows? He could have smashed it. Like,
yeah. To be fair, I feel like we're just like I'm making assumptions here that I shouldn't make, but
like
I
who
can put
knows?
a
Like,
TV head on. Like if I could pick someone to stay, I'd want Rue to stay because I know Rue's gonna bring controversy in the industry challenges and bring a really good creative brief. Or bring something that's going to be a bit more scientific with the spray or something really interesting. Whereas Howard's is already a well-known artist. Howard's already smashing the game. Howard doesn't really need glow up as much as maybe other contestants. It's like me and you. Like you didn't really need glow up that much, but I did. Does that make sense? Like I went glow up because I needed it. You was already doing celebrities makeup, so it's just. I would say I needed it, but I feel like I needed it more than others. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just I don't know. I feel
it's a
like
very I think Glow Up as a whole is a very great platform. It's a very great show to take part of. It teaches you so much about yourself
it
and
does. It does.
as well, I do think this is where it might be a little bit touchy. I do think it is more based for the creativity and the really big bold looks rather than clean, simple ding dongs. There's
What I
never
will
going to be
tell you this is that there's going to be a few changes that I've heard. But
oh
I will ring you after the podcast. And that being said, we will wrap up there so me and Adam can have a gossip. So thank you so much, Adam, for joining me today. I've had such a great time with you. You can find Adam by Instagram, sorry, at Adam Blends. Is that correct?
Adam
And you can,
Blend, on
yes,
TikTok, Instagram, everywhere.
fab. So click on Insta Adam Blends. You can find me at RYBEAU, and you can find Howard at Yogi Loves Makeup, I think.
And he's
I'll tag it
amazing.
all down below. I'll tag it all down below.
Oh God, can we talk about how he's 30?
No, I was gagged. I was literally like, what is that all about? I was gagged. I was
I
literally like,
thought it was a joke.
I thought it was my age. I thought it was like 21, 22.
He looks like a baby.
It's all that skincare. I need the tips.
Oh, that's good. Like he's going to be an amazing, amazing celebrity artist.
Oh, 100% smashing it.
Yeah.
Right, let me
So
just.
good. So good.
So it's Yogi loves makeup _ Howard. If you want to find Howard on Instagram. Yeah.
And yeah, guys, just this is great, Ryan. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you're doing something like this. It gives everyone the platform to talk and share their experience. And
Yeah.
if I say anything that anyone didn't like, please don't take it harsh. I've just
Yeah,
been
listen,
really
this is all opinions. We're all
Yeah.
like, it's not like I did awful in some challenge.
Sure. I'm so sure, just before I go, I'm so sure half of you who are probably sitting here and watching this, I've said something shit about my looks. It's all good. It's fine.
Yeah, literally same. So thank you to everyone watching. I really appreciate your support. You have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you're doing, or night. You could be watching this at 2 a.m. I don't know. But yeah, and go and enjoy yourself, whatever you're doing later on.
Yeah, and that being said, I really hoped you'd enjoyed having me as a little guest on your podcast. Really chill. You're always going to get Adam in a hoodie. I brought you a little bit of sunshine with this color, and please pray that I get a little bit better because I'm not feeling too well.
It's going on when you're not well as well. That's cute. But anyway, we're going to go off camera now, and we're going to chat some rubbish about glow up, what we can't say on camera. So